This English lesson for economists covers the recent decrease in the money moving in to invest in the fintech sector. What is fintech? Fintech stands for financial technology. You know, all of those computer programs and other technology used to support or to offer banking and financial services. Come join me on this lesson. Hi friends, we draw our English lesson today from The Economist magazine once again, which published an excellent article on October 13th, 2022 titled, "Who Will Survive the Fintech Bloodbath?" Bloodbath! Well, that sounds serious, doesn't it? Well, it's not a literal bath of blood, thankfully. Bloodbath is a metaphor to describe a serious and negative event. In this case, the bloodbath refers to the fact that the venture capital, which used to fund fintech enterprises, has been greatly reduced this year. The magazine article states, "Spooked by rising interest rates, investors have tightened their purse strings. As a result, fintech funding has collapsed." Spooked? Well, that means scared. Investors are scared by rising interest rates, so they are tightening their purse strings. And purse strings? Well, that's just a fancy way to say that they are being careful with their money. It's another metaphor. A purse, of course, is what women often carry around with them, where they keep their money, credit cards, and personal items, etc. A purse and purse strings. And that would be referring to the old-fashioned bag where people would keep their coins, which would be tied with a string. Anyway, the current scenario of reduced investments is a big change compared to the rapid growth of funding that went to the fintech sector over the last 2 years, when, according to the article, and I quote, "Plentiful venture capital funding allowed them to launch into foreign markets, make bold acquisitions, and hire the best staff." Well, that's starting to sound like the good old days. Now things are much harder, and some areas of the fintech sector have been harder hit than others. One of them are the so-called neobanks, which according to the article have also been, quote, "starved of revenue," end quote. You know the word starve, don't you? You starve if you don't eat for a while. So if you say they are starved of revenue, it means they're not getting a sufficient amount of revenue. By the way, this was the first time I had seen the word neobank. Of course, neo means new, so I think that it's a pretty accurate way to refer to these new types of virtual banks that don't have brick and mortar locations. They don't have fixed locations with agencies, but rather they live in the cloud. Neobank, a new kind of bank. On the other hand, the article points out that some fintechs are still doing quite well, particularly those that help companies reduce inefficiencies and cut costs in these difficult times. Also, the fintechs that help companies find new sources of revenues are also doing quite well. Another winner in the fintech funding game are the entities that the article describes as financial plumbers, such as the firms that provide data, or which work in different aspects of crypto, or which help banks navigate and comply with sanctions. And there certainly are a growing number of economic sanctions in the world these days, particularly with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. A real plumber, by the way, is the person who fixes the pipes that move water around your house. A plumber. Used as a metaphor, a financial plumber is understood as the institution in the financial system that enables flows of capital or of credit, or who manages financial risk. Financial plumber. So lots of great new vocabulary today, some of which you probably already know, but it never hurts to review, does it? Fintech is financial technology. Bloodbath is either a bath in blood or probably just a negative experience where something is being damaged. Spooked. Well, that means scared or afraid. Spooked. For example, investors are spooked. Purse strings? Well, that is the control of spending. So, purse strings get tightened or loosened. And neobanks. That's a way to refer to a new type of bank. Neo means new. Starve? You starve when you don't eat, and you can be starved of capital or starved of investment. Finally, a financial plumber is best understood as someone or something like an institution that provides the systems and the networks to keep money moving in financial markets, the same way that a plumber keeps water moving in your house. A financial plumber. Friends, that's all for now, but before I finish, I want to thank you for listening to the English for Economists podcast. I truly hope that I'm helping you with these lessons. If that is the case, wherever you're hearing or watching this, show your appreciation by liking and subscribing. It really does help. By the way, you can also subscribe directly by visiting the EnglishForEconomists.com website, where you will also find lesson notes for this podcast and a lot of previous lessons too. Please note that in the lesson notes you'll find a link to the article I've used for this lesson. The Economist magazine, by the way, has a special bonus for you. Follow the link to the article and you will also find an audio version of the entire article. I'll be back soon with another lesson. This is Alan Robert. Take care.